what are some books, if I was to ask you the top 1 to 2 books which you feel
भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवम् बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Sir, all the shlokas I'll chant?
No. 1 to 3.
Just 1 minute. I'm not.
No, Manisha, mute all, yeah. So, Vidya, you chant 1 to 3 now. Then I will complete the summary. Then 4, 5, 6. Chapter 3, Section 1.
तृतीयं मुण्डकं प्रथमः खण्डः. द्वासुपर्णा सयुजा सखाया समानं वृक्षं परिषस्व जाते तयोरन्यः पिप्पलं स्वादुवत्ति अनश्नन्यो अभिचाकशीति समाने वृक्षे पुरुषो निमग्नः अनीशया शोचति मुह्यमानः दृष्टं यदा पश्यत्यन्यमीशम् अस्य महिमानमिति वीतशोकः यदा पश्यते रुक्मवर्णं कर्तारमीशं पुरुषं ब्रह्मयोनिं तदा विद्वान् पुण्यपापे विधूय निरञ्जनः परमं साम्यमुपैति.
Very nice. So we are doing Mundakopanishad and we are on chapter 3, section 1. One question what we are reflecting on is, what is that by knowing, attaining, gaining? What is that one thing I will get everything? So that is where the intelligence comes. So the answer given is, that is Paravidya. What is Paravidya? Paravidya is knowledge of the imperishable. What is that knowledge? The knowledge of imperishable is listening, understanding, contemplating about the attributes of that imperishable. Is the audio clear? Yeah. So that is the main point in all Upanishads. When we learn, when we discuss, we have to pay attention what are the attributes given of Brahman, Akshara Tattva, and we must list down and keep contemplating about it. Once we contemplate, then what was mentioned is that then you practice spiritual archery for meditation. That is a technique mentioned in this Upanishad. That is a speciality of this Upanishad. What will happen? I must use Om as the bow, mind as the arrow, and Brahman as the target, and the ego will dissolve when it hits the target. And the false self will realize and know its own true self. So when this was discussed, definitely the question comes that can we know about these two selves more? So in the chapter 3, section 1, the story of or the analogy or the metaphor of two birds is taken to explain these two selves. How this mind with ego will go and hit the Brahman target and how it will dissolve. That is explained in a very beautiful analogy of two birds. And the story is very interesting that there is a tree, on that there is a bird. And the bird is completely involved into eating fruits which are of the world. The attention is of the world. Completely engrossed into sensations, perceptions, activities, relationships, achievements, etc., etc., and sometimes gets happiness, most of the time get disappointed. And while going through this life, one day he hears somebody talking, reads some book, and knows that there is one more bird living on the same tree. That is our life journey. How many of us actually knew before coming to Vedanta? I thought that only I am living in my body. This body is mine. But this Upanishad say, no, 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 no. There is another bird living in the same body. Like in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Kshetra Kshetranya Vibhaga Yoga, Bhagavan says, don't think that you are the Kshetrajna. I am the Kshetrajna in all. Oh, there are two Kshetrajna. Yes, yes, there are two Kshetrajnas. So this bird listens, hears about Atma. If you ask yourself today one question with closed eyes, that when did you actually came to know first that there is something called as Atma, consciousness, Brahman, and because we have heard about God since childhood, but that is Paroksha, far off. But this God is living inside me. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva. Oh, inside my stomach only. But this bird like us, is okay, hears it, doesn't believe and is still engrossed into all the activities of, going to college, marriage, children, this, that. But slowly, slowly, but whenever these birds get disappointed, it is to look up. Oh, there is this bird. And then this bird comes to Mundakopanishad class and then listens. But again, gets entangled into life. Only on Sunday, Mondays, this bird looks into another bird. All other time, the bird is looking into the world and relishes the fruit. But slowly, slowly, this bird gets interested in the first bird. And that is where the seeker is born. As one day, some people went to Guruji and this discussion was going on that when do we actually start our spiritual life? Some people say, no, when I was born, childhood, I used to go to temple and I used to actually, do a lot of puja. Then I used to go with my mother to Tirupati. When Guruji said, actually our spiritual life starts when we actually take a decision that I want to know this bird. That is the time our spiritual life begins. Otherwise, our first bird type Grihastha life is going on. When this lower bird decides that now I am keen to know this upper bird, then it starts moving, starts doing more Shravan, more Manan, more Nididhyasanam, and then starts moving towards the upper bird. And then it realizes this upper bird is so peaceful, so joyous, and not eating any fruit, having complete freedom, and there is a glow, Rukma Varnam, and when it starts getting attracted towards that, in that glow, it doesn't realize when, but it disappears. Like we do not know when we go to sleep. Please tell me, any of one of you, what is that moment when you are awake, and what is that moment when you are asleep. There is no movement you can catch. And now when this bird starts seeing oneself, it cannot find oneself, and it finds oneness between all. Now, when this lower bird has dissolved in the higher bird and realized its own self as the true self, Satchit Ananda Satyam Jnanam Anantam, what it sees. See, it's a story, so we have to go with the story. We can understand it beautifully. What it sees and what it realizes now, when it looks at the same world, it was so attracted, tempted, attached. Now that is the fourth mantra we are coming. So it is a state of realization of the lower bird who went on the upper branch and merged into the upper bird. And now when it sees the world, now it sees one's own state, and now this bird says this. Now this is the beginning of the fourth mantra, which is so beautiful. So Vidya, can you chant it thrice? Because this is where the seeker is more interested to listen again and again, again and again. For example, suppose I want to go to America, or if I want to go to Switzerland, I'm planning because it takes time, visa. Whoever talks about America, Switzerland, what happened? What to see more? What is there? Where you stayed? What to eat? Where to vegetarian food? So we are keen. So those people who become real seekers, they actually relish only this conversation. What is consciousness? What is it about? What will happen? How other person realize? What is that state? What will happen to my family? What will happen? So this is the interest of all seekers who really get interested in seeking the second bird. So Vidya, can you chant thrice? Fourth mantra.
प्राणो ह्येषयः सर्वभूतैर्विभाति विजानन् विद्वान् भवतेनातिवादी आत्मक्रीड आत्मरतिः क्रियावान् एष ब्रह्मविदां वरिष्ठः प्राणो ह्येषयः सर्वभूतैर्विभाति विजानन् विद्वान् भवतेनातिवादी आत्मक्रीड आत्मरतिः क्रियावान् एष ब्रह्मविदां वरिष्ठः प्राणो ह्येष यः सर्वभूतैर्विभाति विजानन् विद्वान् भवतेनातिवादी आत्मक्रीड आत्मरतिः क्रियावान् एष ब्रह्मविदां वरिष्ठः.
Very beautiful, Vidya. Vidya exactly knows where is a sandhi, where to break. One of my favorite two words are these two. Atma Krida Atmarat. Because this I got fascinated when I came across Bhagavad Gita and I first time heard from Guruji the first verse of Sita Pradya Lakshan, Atman Neva Atmana Tushta. And I was so fascinated by that, these two words, Atman Neva Atmana Tushta. Similar meaning is given here. So we can see how Bhagavad Gita is Upanishad Su. So knowing it what? Knowing that Akshara Tattva in this Upanishad, it is called Akshara, imperishable. So knowing that the prana here is not the pranas, Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, not that kosha. Prana means consciousness, awareness, that Akshara Tattva. Now this lower bird has realized its own self as prana. That the Jiva has become Ishvara, reveling in all beings. The wise man stops all his blabbering, ativadi. Sporting in Atma, delighted in Atma and doing actions enjoined by the Shastra, this person experiences this one who is the knower of the Brahman. And Brahma Vidam Varishtha. This is the highest level of knowledge. From that knowledge, the person is sharing his experiences. So we'll analyze this and reflect on this verse. So this is basically talks about Jnani's Lakshanas. Now the lower bird has realized the higher bird. So what is the first Lakshan? Prano yas sarva bhutair vibhati. Realizes that earlier I thought that I am only dwelling in my body. But now I have realized that no. I am not dwelling. Ishwar is dwelling in my body. And that is a prana. Like Swamiji gave example that electricity is there in all. The filament may go here and there, the bulb get damaged, nothing happens to electricity. And the same electricity is there in the fan, bulb. So what I realize is so amazing. I think I must get so fascinated. Oh, right now I am only experiencing the world through only one body, one senses. Now Adi Shankaracharya says, Sarvendriyanam. I am experiencing this world through all bodies and only I am there. That Ishwar is there, which is there as the being of all things and beings, all animals, all things also. And only God is doing all activities through all. So when we interact with people, what is a Jnani's vision? That it is God only acting in all things and beings. Like we know our Gurudev when he used to go on the dais and before he used to start, he used to prostrate to all the audience. And when somebody asked, why are you prostrating? You are giving the lecture, you are on the stage. He said that Narayana is talking, Narayana is listening. Swami Shivananda also used to do same thing. Whenever people used to go and meet him, he used to prostrate. So people say, hey, Swamiji, we should prostrate you, not you should prostrate. He told what to do when people come to me. What he said is very interesting. He said, when people come to visit me, I see their Ishta Devata in their heart whom they are worshipping. So suppose you are worshipping Hanumanji, he used to have Hanuman's darshan, so he used to prostrate to Hanumanji. Suppose I am doing Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and suppose we go to Swami Shivananji, he will prostrate. He will say, why? No, I am prostrating to the Shivji who is your Ishta Devata. You used to know that also. So, Prano Yesha Yas Sarva Bhutair Vibhati. So, what a beautiful state that there is no other. How to deal with others? Ramana Maharshi says, there are no others. Where are the others? Atma Krida. So now, Swamiji gave one view of it. Another view, what I personally like is this. When this person engages in the world outside, outward vision, because after realization, the person will remain in samadhi for some time and then engage. So the person will, this is a beautiful example that Atma Krida, Krida means sport. So the person starts playing, not playing. Normally we play with each other's emotions, I always joke, oh, how do we play? We play with each other's emotion, hurt somebody, become jealous. So we are actually playing with emotions of people. And then we also allow other people to play with our emotions. But this person now engages with the world with delight and sees oneself in all. No, how can we say, how is it possible? Every day we are experiencing it. Most of us, may not be every day, but at least once or twice in a week, we experience this in the dream. In the dream, when we go to UK and the trees and the mountains and this and that, everything is me only. After I wake up, I say, oh, the tree also was me, the train also was me, the plane also was me, the visa giver also was me, that particular site what I saw in UK, that is also me only, Manchester is me, London is me, everything is me only. But this Jnani plays without Karta Bhava. This is an important point to note. Why Karta Bhava is not there? Because earlier we have said, Prano Yesha Sarva, Yas Sarva Bhuter Vivati, because he knows that who is the Karta, Savarta of all, God only is doing everything, Ishvara. Tukaram Maharaj says, Ata Khelato Kautuke. Now I am just playing. There is no purpose, there is no winning, there is no losing, there is no gaining. Now whatever till the body is there, the body will do all actions, whatever are there required. But that is a krida. And one example I was thinking that I think most of us would have seen a small child, 1 month old, 2 month old, takes one's own thumb. Today you try, the leg doesn't come to even waist height. The child will pull the leg and put the thumb in the mouth and suck. Atma Krida, playing with one's own thumb and enjoys. Atma Krida. No, 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 we will wash our thumb for 100 times. No, 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 I don't want to put my leg thumb. Leg, huh? I'm not talking about hand, leg. And why this is mentioned here now, suddenly this attribute, because earlier the lower bird is engaged and attached to the world of happiness, world of situation, objects, people for happiness. But now there is no happiness in the world because from that perspective, there is no distinction between world and Brahman. So now I have to take a deep breath and listen. This is an important point. A lot of confusion happens here. There are stages. Stage number 1, we are told that distinguish. I have to listen carefully because I had a lot of discussions on this with a couple of monks. Stage number 1. Vivek definition is what? Atma, Anatma, Vivek. So I distinguish between this is Atma, this is Anatma, this is permanent, this is changing, Nitya, Anitya, Vivek. So that is stage number 1. Once that Vivek happens, then we are told Neti. Detach from the lower, attach to the higher. Detach from Anatma and attach to Atma. Then once that happens, then once that Mumukshatva Vairagya comes, then the experience becomes Aham Brahmasmi. Oh, I am Brahman. And the 4th stage comes when I look from that stage towards the world, which earlier I called Anatma. I say Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. This world also is Brahman only. So please write down these 4 steps because this is where confusion happens. Because somewhere it will say Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, Ishavasyam Idagam Sarvam. And then you are telling me, no, you distinguish between Atma, Anatma, inert and sentient. But these are stages of realization. Atmarati. Atmarati is what is Atma Krida is outer vision. Atmarati is inward vision. What is inward vision? In love of self. Because there is nobody other, no other. Gyaneshwar Maharaj says, Mi maze mohita rahile nivanta. Eka rupa tattva. I am now enchanted by myself. Now we are enchanted by people, object, resources, this, that, 100 things. But now Gyaneshwar Maharaj says, Mi maze mohita. So Guruji's give 3 words, Santushti, Trupti, Rati, because this Rati word is very interesting. The example what Guruji gives is that suppose I am very hungry and then I get food to eat, then there will be experience of Santushti. Somebody gives me very nice food. But in that food, I have this special liking for what we can say Gulab Jam or Rasgulla. That Rasgulla comes, which is of my special liking. Then that will give me Trupti. That I not only got the food, but I got Rasgulla. And I will take one more Rasgulla, and before I complete my food, I will keep that Rasgulla taste in my mouth. Some people even don't wash the mouth and then they revel in that Rasgulla for 2 hours. And if you ask them, do you want a coffee or do you want, something, pan, or do you want, no, pan, ice cream, coffee, I do not want because that Rasgulla taste I want to revel. So that is reveling. So this is a distinction between Santushti, Trupti and Rati. Rati means the person revels in it without any effort. Like when we get up in the morning, I don't have to revel in understanding that I am a man, I am a Prasad. My name is Prasad, I am a man. I don't have to revel, I am reveling in it. Dehosmi. Whereas Ramana Maharshi, Adi Shankaracharya, all these saints, they revel in that without efforts. Aham Brahmasmi, my nature is Satchitananda, I revel in it. Why? Important point. Because there is no sense of lack. We are operating from a deep sense of lack. I am lacking something in life. And that deep sense of lack, which is called as apurnata, takes us with an assumption that this world is going to give me purnata, which is not going to happen. So when that purnata comes, there is no sense of lack. There are two challenges. At body level, we have a fear of suffering and death. And at deeper level, we have this sense of lack, which drives us towards all actions what we do in day-to-day life. Ativadi, very interesting word Bhagavan has put. Ativadi means vain blabber. Because when I am full with myself, the fullness creates no sound. So what is the sadhana for us? Avoid gossip. Avoid stories about false jagat. I know that the jagat is false. Then, oh no, what happened? 3 days back this happened. 10 days back this happened. And the story on, but that is all false. I must constantly, if I'm a seeker, be thinking about consciousness, awareness. What would be that state? What would be Vivekananda's experience? What would be Naneshwar Maharaj's experience? Tukaram Maharaj's experience? Gurudev's experience? Tapovan Maharaj's experience? And he's keen in knowing about and read about all those attributes again and again. What does exactly Satyam means? What does exactly Nityam means? What is Avihi? What is Guhacharam? This the seeker is constantly reveling. If somebody is interested in cricket, 24/7 the person wants to either play cricket, discuss cricket, or watch cricket, listen to cricket, write about cricket, read about cricket. That is a seeker's attitude. So not interested in any other thing, because vain blabber stops. Whatever is required for transactional purpose for some time, for some relationships, it is okay. Otherwise, not keen on this. There are many stories. Like one day, one saint came from Kashi to Kabir, and then people gathered to watch now what will be some discussion happened. For 2 to 3 days, that saint was there. They had no dialogue. Not even a word was exchanged between them, and the saint went. And then people asked, what is this? We gathered to see what is the dialogue you had. He said, जो वो जानते हैं वो हम जानते हैं, बात क्या करना है. There is one beautiful book on Gurudev stories, by Kalidas. In that same thing is written. One day Gurudev had gone to one temple somewhere, was a realized saint was there, and he was there for 2 hours or 3 hours, and they had no dialogue. And that he and Gurudev went there traveling several hours because that saint had called Gurudev, and he told whatever he wanted to accomplish through me, it is accomplished. There is no need to talk. Whatever you know, I am Satchitananda, I know I am Satchitananda, there is nothing to talk. So, what is a seeker sadhana? Avoid gossip, avoid stories, avoid past, future, avoid anything about body, mind, intellect, relationship, achievement, is that. Because who has the time to discuss all these things? Because my entire inner calling must be that, oh, let me see what is there in this text. But how these people say, oh, again, Upanishad, again, attribute, what is it? I'm not interested. I know all these things. I'm Atma. But no, a person who is a seeker and seeking will be so keen that how it is been described here. Kriya 1, this is another very interesting, that what two people do once the enlightenment happens. Once a person realizes the self, enlightenment, moksha, akshara tattva, what does the person do? Kriya 1, the person remains ever engaged in noble activities as usual. Eating, sleeping, drinking, talking is going on. One person lived with Buddha and then for 10 years and say, what is the difference between both of us? I don't know. You also get up, I also get up. You also brush, I also brush. I also eat, you also eat. I also sleep, you also sleep. You also talk, I also talk. Buddha told there is really no difference, but I watch myself doing that. And you think that you are the Karta. That is the difference. So, if we see Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Vivekananda, after enlightenment, they did the same thing what they were doing earlier. If you are, in a profession of coloring the clothes like Kabir, after realization, he was coloring the clothes only. Gora Kumbhar, he used to make those pots. After realization, he still was making pots. Nisargadatta Maharaj stories is very interesting. He has given. Nisargadatta Maharaj said that after realization, after abidance in it, one day he thought that, I don't want to live in this place. I personally have visited his place where he stayed a few years back. I went to his room where he was living, stayed there for some time, meditated. There's only one photo there. And what he told is so true. That room is so small, no kitchen, and four people living in that room. Entire surrounding is like a slum, fish market, so much of noise. He told, I will spend my days in Himalayas and abide in that. And after walking for 1 kilometer, he realized that why am I going there to Himalayas? I already have realized the infinite which is with me. So he walked back and stayed in that room making beedies because he was selling handmade beedies. He used to sell those handmade beedies till the end. There is a butcher who got realization he was doing the butchering job only. Because many people have this different imaginations. After realization, aura will come, chakra will come, then all world over people will come and prostrate me because nobody prostrate me, nobody listens to me now, nobody giving bhav to me, people give a lot of bhav, nothing is going to happen. As my life goes on, it will go on. But it will be noble activities for people's upliftment. J.K. Krishnamurti once told that after realization, what one can do? One can talk. That's all. What did Krishna do? Only gave he fought wars, but basically what is remembered of Krishna is his dialogues in Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Vidam Varishta has attained the highest possibility of human life. The lower bird attains the highest possibility. So now I am keen to realize this state. After listening to all these two bird story, even bird can realize, I can also realize. No? Okay, then the next mantra says, okay, if you want to realize this beautiful state, practice following daily sadhanas in your own life. So, next two mantras are basically daily sadhanas. Vidya, can we chant this twice?
सत्येन लभ्यस्तपसा ह्येष आत्मा सम्यक् ज्ञानेन ब्रह्मचर्येण नित्यम् अन्तःशरीरे ज्योतिर्मयो हि शुभ्रः यं पश्यन्ति यतयक्षीणदोषाः सत्येन लभ्यस्तपसा ह्येष आत्मा सम्यक् ज्ञानेन ब्रह्मचर्येण नित्यम् अन्तःशरीरे ज्योतिर्मयो हि शुभ्रः यं पश्यन्ति यतयक्षीणदोषाः.
Very nice. So here there are 4 topics given, complete Shastra given in this one verse. So this verse is popular and next verse also is popular. All 4 topics are given here which are important. What are the 4 topics? Sadhana is given, sadhya given, qualification of sadhak given, and location to seek given. The process also is given. So sadhana, sadhya, sadhak. And in the earlier verse, what was given? Siddha Lakshana. So what has been mentioned here? Cultivate these 4 properties, 4 qualities, and then locate this God, Ishvara, consciousness, Atma in your own heart. And who will realize this? Who will have this Kshina dosha? And how? There are 4 sadhanas to be done in our day-to-day life. Good to God. Without morality, without ethical living, we cannot reach God. Satya. So in Satya, there are two aspects. Paramarthik Satya Sadhana and Vyavaharik Satya Sadhana. We are not taking Pratibhasik. Pratibhasik also you can take that everything you can say is Mithya. What is Paramarthik Satya Sadhana? Give up the false Aparavidya and seek the truth Paravidya. Satya is a result of fearlessness. Fear is caused why? Because over identification with BMI. Drop that and do not compromise on what you are convinced. So I must ask one more question today, because to ask this question, this moment is the most auspicious one. What is the question? Am I convinced 100% that I am Atma? Or still I have a doubt? No, I am convinced. Intellectually, I can prove to others that I am Atma. So if I am convinced that I must not compromise in my behavior, in my thinking, feeling as far as possible. Otherwise, Guruji says that people do prachar about Brahman but vote for Maya. We talk about Brahman, Atma and this and that, but actually we are giving all our attention to Maya only. Vyavaharik Satya Sadhana, congruence in word, thought, word, deed. This is a very important one. What I think, I must say. What I say, I must do. But at the same time, this is again should not be misunderstood. No, I am, I will say whatever I feel like. I can say, I think you are a stupid person. So I say directly because it is Satya Sadhana given in Mundakopanishad. No. It has been, Satyam has to be quoted with Priyam and it has to be Hitam for other person. And Mitam means short. Do not speak too much. There are people who talk whole day, communicate nothing. So what am I talking? What am I communicating? What is the purpose? Am I talking about my own stories or God's stories? Do not waste energy in gossip, other talks, and currently we should include social media. How much time I am spending on social media, your mobile phone, our mobile phone only gives us. This many hours I am spending on mobile phone. So do not waste time, those who are seekers. We are learning Mundakopanishad. Tapa, second sadhana, tapa. Adi Shankaracharya has given a beautiful long commentary on this tapa. Because tapa means, fasting, tapa means, doing, standing on one leg on in water, and some people go rolling and do lot of tapas. He says that is all good. But what tapas he has mentioned, especially now in current situation, it is so apt. He has given a bhashya on that in detail, that his interpretation of tapa is focus, concentration of mind and senses. मन मानी नहीं, बुद्धि मानी होना चाहिए. And it is so true in today's world. The whole challenge, what is happening is that attention span is so low. Right now also, I'm not sure how many people are listening to this in between, looking into mobile phone, looking into book. And today children are allowed to listen to lecturer with their computer and laptop on. It's not the right way of learning, because senses, mind and body must be all going together, especially for this. Otherwise, I will have information. I will not have knowledge. Even if I have knowledge, I will not get the essence. Even if I get the essence, I will not get the experience. So once buddhi decides the goal, then aligning the senses, mind, speech towards the goal is tapa. We know Swami Advainanji went to Gurudev and asked, what is one sadhana I should do? He was thinking he will tell some very complicated sadhana after, becoming brahmachari or sannyasi. He told, just keep your mind where your body is there. And it is the most difficult sadhana to practice. Suppose we don't practice tapa, what is going to happen is opposite of that is patan. Patan will happen. We will go down because mind is going somewhere. I am feeling something, but I'm not doing it. I'm not feeling something like doing, but still have to do in the job, family. Patan. Samyak Jnana, right understanding, means experiencing the Akshar Tattva as it is, indicated by the Shrutis. So, Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasanam, again and again. Swadhyaya Bhyasanam Chaiva, my talk, my thinking, my talking must be as per the scriptures. No, I will do whatever I feel. I will talk whatever I feel. No, depending upon the scriptures. Brahmacharya. For brahmachari, the brahmacharya is celibacy. For gruhastha, brahmacharya means everything in moderation. Why it is important? Conservation of energy. One who walks dedicatedly towards Brahman is a brahmachari. What is the location I must search by conserving energy and focusing with this right knowledge? Buddhi guha, given as physical heart. Antas sharire. Because where the ignorance is located? In the buddhi. Sadhya. What is the goal? Jyotirmaya. I realize my own nature, which is self-illuminous, stainless. And what are the sadhak qualification given? Who will attain this? Yathaya, one who keeps putting efforts joyously and effort without external force. No one is forcing us to attend this Mundakopanishad at 9 o'clock, even though we are feeling sleepy. Sannyasa means what? Nyasa means keeping. So keeping our mind in Brahman, that is sannyasa. And Kshina Dosha, Chitta Shuddhi, who has overcome these 6 vikars, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. Such sadhak attains the Brahma. Pashyanti. He sees directly. The lower bird becomes the higher bird. And then, one more verse. 6th verse can we chant twice. Famous verse. The first 3 words are famous on our national anthem.
सत्यमेव जयते नानृतम् सत्येन पन्था विततो देवयानः येनाक्रमन्त्यर्षयो ह्याप्तकामाः यत्र तत्सत्यस्य परमं निधानम् सत्यमेव जयते नानृतम् सत्येन पन्था विततो देवयानः येनाक्रमन्त्यर्षयो ह्याप्तकामाः यत्र तत्सत्यस्य परमं निधानम्.
To reach that abode, Paramam Nidhanam. So among 4 qualities, one is highlighted because this is a very important quality. So earlier 4 were mentioned, out of that one is highlighted again, Satya. So earlier was Satya, Tapa, Brahmacharya and Samyak Jnana. Out of that one is taken because this is the key for realization. Satyam eva jayate, which is there on our national anthem, but today we came to know that it is from Mundakopanishad. Today we came to know that Satyam eva jayate namrutam, not the truth, not the false. And what is the further verse also we were not aware. Satyena pantha vitato devayana. What a beautiful coined word on our national anthem. What is truth? That which is changeless. What is untruth? Constantly changing. So one who follows the aparavidya will not reach the highest. One who follows the paravidya, that person will win in the ultimate, not run in the ultimate way. Why sadhanas are indicated? To make mind pure, expansive, quiet, truth. Because Brahman is like that. Brahman is quiet, joyous, peaceful. Brahman is infinite. Brahman is expansive, brihatvat. Brahman is pure, stainless. So we have to make that mind like that so that it will merge in Brahman. It will reflect the Brahman as it is. Satyavadis win. Why? Why Satyameva Jayate? Why Nandrutam? Because truth is the path. Vyavaharik Satya is equal to truth is the goal. Paramarthik Satya. Because this person earlier was following aparavidya, path of impermanence. So I will get impermanent result only. And rishis who are apta kama means desire less for the world. Who will get? So now we remember the first verse of Bhagavad Gita. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. So Gurudev used to explain this vasana-lessness leading to desirelessness, leading to thoughtlessness, leading to actionlessness is that state of enlightenment. Oh, is it like sleep? No, no, no. It is wakeful sleep. And this person, when he walks this path of truth, will reach the supreme abode, Paramam Nidhanam. But I am now interested into knowing your abode. What is your address, God? So that will be in the next two verses. So how is the abode? How is the Paramadhama? Those are the two next verses. That's a beautiful Mundakopanishad. That's the reason it is so popular and favorite of many people, many monks. There are many Upanishads. All are beautiful. But this has special analogies and stories and uh, unique explanations and so many Mahavakyas, so many popular verses. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. Thank you very much.
Prasad, class is over.
Class is over. Yeah, please unmute.
Then you should have done it now.
No, that recording has to be stopped.